You know, it is what it is. Just another fight. I'm fucking on three in one trilogy. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to be on three in two trilogies. So that's the main thing going through my mind, right now. So and then they, it's BMF. The BMF title is cool and everything, and making history is great. But the main thing, the main history I ain't trying to make is trying to be a man who fought two different trilogies and went 0 and 3. So at the end of the day, I'm focused on going out there, getting my hand raised. Shout out to DP. He a diamond. He's a beast, bro. He's an animal. He's a legend. And I know it's his last dance, but I gotta play the spoiler here. I need I need this one.
You look back at the Volk trilogy, I still, those first two fights, I thought great case that you won. The third one was probably, the most decisive for him.
Uh-huh.
What do you do to make sure, I guess, this time, like the first two Dustin fights were what they were, to make sure this one, is dominant on your side?
I just gotta go out there. I just gotta go out there and do what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fight the way I fight. And just remind everybody, you're only as good as your last fight. And my last fight wasn't so good. So at the end of the day, uh, we're looking at things. We're making sure we're covering all our bases, and we're gonna go out there and you guys are gonna see July 19th, man. I can't wait, man. It's gonna be something special. I've been telling you guys whenever I fight, tune in. If you're trying to get new friends, new family members into the UFC, tune into one of my fights. But with Dustin, this being his last fight, Dustin is a fan favorite. He turned a lot of people into fans. I'm sure of it. And when you mix me and him, man, it's gonna be a fun one. This is last dance, like he said. He's gonna try to go out there with a bang. You know what I'm bringing when I step in there. So I can't wait, man. Just tune in July 19th. It's the fans are in for a treat.
You think back at those first two fights, it's interesting, a stat around this one. It's the longest spanning trilogy in UFC history, over 13 years, like the time between the first fight and the third fight. So you
Oh,
guys are
I
complete.
didn't know that. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it
crazy.
was something I figured out when I was doing like my research for this. So you were a kid. We know you were a teenager first time you fought. Second time was like kind of short notice. You were on your great streak. But what do you think back at those first two fights? Like, do they even register going into this one, or does it feel just so long ago?
So long ago, man. That first fight, Dustin's not even recognizable, bro. Me or Dustin's not
No.
recognizable. Like, what the hell? Who the hell is these two people? And the second fight, it is what it is, man. I like we went out there, we did our thing. I thought I did enough. I obviously didn't. Three people sitting ringside had a decision and it went the other way. So there's nothing to do to cry about spilled milk. We just gotta worry about the next one. So I'm straight focused here, and I can't wait. Dustin's an animal. He's a beast, but like I said, man, this is last dance. So I gotta be spoiler, but it's gonna be a fun one.
He said when I talked to him a few weeks ago, like he wants this last fight to be another war, wants to go out in a knucklehead fashion. He said wants to bleed in there with you. You already did that with him though. You already bled in there for 5 rounds. Like, is this your turn to get the dominant one sided win, kind of like he got in the first fight, maybe?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the only right way to get a trilogy done, I guess, now with me and him is first one he got the sub. I mean, second one he won decision. So let's figure out this trilogy. Let's hopefully get a KO on this one. With me being on the on the winning side. So that would be cool. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. He's a hard fight. Like you said, I know what kind of fight. When you think of Dustin Poirier, you know what kind of fight he's gonna be in, and him even saying it out loud now only confirms it, and it's gonna be fun, man. I can't wait. Hearing those words, hearing you tell me that excites me. If it's a war he wants, it's a war he's gonna get. So if we're gonna be a bunch of knuckleheads in there, I wouldn't want it any other way, especially with the BMF title on the line.